Pest Control Marketer. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.
Hello, folks. It's Hal Coleman, and welcome to another episode of Pest Control Marketing Live and the Pest Control Marketing Podcast, where we teach you how to increase your sales, get more new customers, and make more deposits in your local bank. And I'm here with Mike Stewart, Mr. Online, Mr. Internet Audio Guy. How you doing, Mike?
Doing great today, Hal. It's once again, I'm the guy who says don't timestamp your podcast, but I don't care because we're getting 5 inches of snow this day in January of 2022. So if you listen to this in the heat of August, no, it's freezing cold today when we're recording.
Well, that's good. We would probably like to be freezing cold in the middle of August down here in the South.
Absolutely.
Hey, listen, Mike, I've got something I want to talk about. You don't always know what we're going to talk about. But
I enjoy my friends and colleagues in the podcast world. They say, well, what kind of show prep do you do? I said, I like being surprised.
Yeah, you get surprised, and we do a lot of show prep, don't we? We just sit down, press some buttons, and start talking. A lot of times you'll say, what are we going to, right before you press the record button and we come on the air, you say, by the way, what are we going to talk about today? And sometimes I say, well, you'll find out. But sometimes I say, we're going to talk about this, that, and the other. But I'll tell you what we're going to talk about today, something I'm really excited about. We're going to talk about the upcoming annual Next Level Pest Control Marketing Workshop that's going to be held. It's been live in the past. This is the 5th annual one. But last year, because of COVID, it was virtual, and it was an overwhelming success. Everybody loved it, and people are asking now daily, when are you going to do your workshop again? And it's going to be online again this year because of COVID. You don't have to travel. You don't have to book a plane ticket. You don't have to get a hotel room. Don't have to take time off from work. It's going to be an all-day event on Saturday, February 26th. Football will be over with. Super Bowl will be over with. You'll probably be somewhere where it's snowing too. So I hope you will join us. And we've got so much good stuff. And Mike, you know what I'm going to start out my session that morning with? Something that I talk with my coaching clients with endlessly. And it's one of the most important things that makes a big difference in their business is psychological buying response triggers or psychological buy buttons. Those are words, phrases, pictures, combinations of words, and that cause people to make an instant decision to buy from you, to say, oh, yeah, I'm going to call them. It works in a hypnotic way, in a particular fashion, a psychological sequence. And I'm going to go over with them the 13 top psychological buying triggers that should be on your website and your sales letters, your oral presentations, your written presentations. And I'll bet you 98% of the people out there now that have a website maybe have 1 or 2 psychological buying buttons on their website, and they might not even be in the proper sequence. And I'm going to tell you how this works. I had a client several years back. And it's probably been six or 8 years ago now, but they'd been in business for, I think, 37 years. And they had a nice website, a real pretty website. And I asked the lady that she was the vice president of the company and also the marketing director. And I said, do you have any idea how many customers you get that's from your that have visited your website and become your customers? She said, well, I can tell you exactly how many we get. And I said, well, that's good because most people can't. Excuse me. She said, we average getting 7 new customers a month from our website. I said, oh, that's great that you know that. So I looked at the website and I said, I want to make a couple of changes to the homepage of your website. She said, oh, no, we've been having the same guy for many years who's been doing our website, and we're not going to let you make any changes to our website. I said, well, there's a couple of changes I could make that would make a difference. And so we had a powwow, and her husband was president of the company, and this guy that did their website was a personal friend and a web designer. Well, I convinced him to, and I talked with him. I said, I'm not going to change anything except the wording, and I want to put one little picture on the homepage, and I want to add a little bit of verbiage on the homepage. That's all I'm going to do. That's it. And I said, if I break something, I'll pay you out of my pocket to fix it. And he said, okay. So he let me into the website. And I made 2 changes to the website. I put this picture on the website, and then I added a little bit of verbiage there. And that's all I did. So I said, let it run for 30 days and we'll see if it makes any difference. So at the end of 30 days, I said, so how did you come out with your website? She said, we got 28 new customers this month from our website. I said, so your conversion quadrupled by me adding those 2 response triggers. She said, that's amazing. So then I convinced them to let me add more. But bottom line, that's how powerful psychological buying response triggers can be. And I'm going to go over in detail 12 of them, or 13 of them actually, that need to be on your website and aren't on most people's websites. So it's going to be amazing what you're going to learn. And my second hour in the morning, I'm just now putting that together. So I'm not really sure yet. I've got some exciting things to share. I've got more than I could share in a late morning session, but I promise you it's going to be dynamic. And Mike, I know you've got the afternoon session, so tell us what you're going to deliver to the folks.
You know, one of the things that we say over and over again, Hal, is there's 1,000 little things that can make a difference. You know, in response trigger, you did a couple of little things and it made a difference. And lots of times when you point those little things that can make a difference, and they do make a difference, because people were willing to trust that your experience of what you do has worked time and time again. You know, principles never change. Strategies change. So I'm going to be talking about taking, psychological principles and applying them to the technology of the online world. For the last couple of years, I've been, talking about how important optimizing for the cell phone is because 96% of the world finds local businesses and makes a buying decision with that local business based on the information that they get to their cell phone, not their computer. So, Google became aware of this years ago. That's why they all the social media sites, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, all of them are really optimized to work well on the cell phone because the cell phone is the computer that everybody has in their pocket. So when I say strategies change, how to use the cell phone more efficiently to convey your response trigger marketing message is what I'm going to be talking about. The overlooked opportunities of taking an individual from a cell phone to a buyer. They find you on a cell. In fact, when I look at the Google statistics of the advertising campaigns that I do with our clients, always consistently over 90% of the clicks they get, 90% of the people that find them found them on a phone. They didn't find them on a computer. Television sets. 5 years ago, we didn't have what are called smart speakers and smart TVs. So technology is changing, strategies are changing, but applying the principles, the 1,000 little things to all these new technologies is what I'm putting together in my presentation. And I've discovered new strategies combined with principles of response triggers and psychology, all of that. We've tested a lot of things in the last couple of years, and it's ever evolving. So what's great about our workshop is, we're willing to learn and we're willing to share. And what you can't do is stick your head in the sand and pretend it's going to get better by you just handing money to somebody and hope they do all the right things. They might do some of the right things. 9 times out of 10, they do a lot of the wrong things and you don't know it. It's kind of like handing that mechanic an open checkbook and say, just fix my car, and he could be telling you the right things and the wrong things. He's not explaining to you why you need that thing Bob replaced. In fact, I'll tell you, I'll give you a little tip about anything. Go to YouTube, and YouTube has saved me thousands of dollars. The mechanic's going to tell you, you need this thing that costs $1,300, but you need this thing that only costs $5, and you can put it in yourself. It's all about being honest with people, and that's what we do. We're saying, look, you got to get found on a cell phone, and you got to build a relationship and use response triggers. We used to talk about it, you and I both. Pretty websites don't always sell. Dan Kennedy said, pretty doesn't sell. The marketing message that's clear to the buyers is what sells.
Yeah, and I used to say pretty doesn't sell, glitter doesn't sell, cute doesn't sell, value sells.
Words that convince a buyer that you're the best, if not the only choice. And that's what we're all about. All those beautiful, I had a client spend thousands of dollars on a gorgeous website, and then it didn't look right on a phone, and so they spent a lot of money that they should have put elsewhere. In fact, and one of the things I want to interject before I forget on this podcast and this live stream, I'm going to tell you today's date. This is January 6th, 2022. And the event, again, I'm going to put it up here on the screen for those watching the live stream, is February 26, 2022. Let's say you're listening to this podcast summer of 2022. Let's say you're listening to this podcast summer of 2024. Well, guess what? If you go to Next Level PCO Marketing, that's how you reserve your ticket, you can get all of this information at any time of the year. The only thing that's different is that you won't be there live with us. There's a whole big advantage of being able to be there live, ask questions, network with other people, and that's the part you'll miss out on. So don't think that if you hear this after it's happened, why? Guess what's going to happen hopefully in 2023? It'll be the 6th annual.
Yeah.
But just remember, go to Next Level PCO Marketing if this is prior to February 26th, and join us live on that Saturday, February 26th. And if the live event has come and gone, you still have the opportunity. That website is evergreen, is always up there, and the information is recorded, and you'll be able to benefit from it at any time during the year. So I kind of wanted to make this podcast timely, but also make it evergreen.
Oh, yeah. And listen, folks, the cost of this thing, if you sign up before the deadline, is only $97. That's less than what you get paid to get rid of one wasp nest or do one cockroach treatment or a mouse job. So the cost is kind of ridiculous, but, we're trying to keep that down, and we're delivering value. And our big hopes, I did have somebody say, how come y'all do that you're not charging much for it? I said, well, our big hope is that we build relationships with people, and some of those people, every time we do one of these, some of the people end up being in our coaching programs, and we end up helping them change their lives. I mean, really, you can go to the website, Next Level PCO Marketing.com, scroll down, read testimonials from dozens of people who've been to this workshop and hear what they have to say about it. So don't take our word for it. Listen to the past attendees. And Mike, you mentioned something a while ago about strategies and things evolving and changing. I had a conversation yesterday with a client, and he said, well, things change though. He said, what was working yesterday may not be working today. Things change. How do you keep up with the time? I said, strategies change, techniques change, technology changes, but human nature hasn't changed in 350,000 years. When somebody finds something that they like, that brings them pleasure, they want to try to get more of it. When they find something that brings them pain, they want to get away from it and have less of it. When they get hungry, they want to find food. When they're thirsty, they want water. When they're tired, they want rest. When they're in the mood for, well, we won't even go there. But what I'm saying is human nature hasn't changed in 350,000 years. So understanding human nature, understanding what makes people want something, that's kind of what the psychological buying triggers are all about. See, the buying decision takes place in the subconscious mind, not the conscious mind. So understanding how the subconscious mind works lets you tap into that psychology and make people want your pest control service, want your wildlife service, not just the service, but want to do business with you instead of your competition, want to forget about everybody else and want to build a relationship with you. See, people buy what they want. They don't buy what they need. They buy what they want. If everybody did what they needed to do, nobody would be overweight. Nobody would be an alcoholic. Nobody would smoke cigarettes. Nobody would lose their temper. Nobody would stay away from it. If we did what we need to do, but that's not the way it is. We do what we want to do. And that we buy things every day based on want. So a really good salesperson knows that you figure out what somebody needs, and then you figure out a way to make them want it. Because they're not going to buy it just because they need it.
Right.
They're going to buy it because they want it. So you've got to convert the need into a want. And when you can do that and you get good at it, it becomes almost impossible for somebody to say no to you. And I'll say this, you and I've said it before, we were interacting, you never, ever, ever want to sell anybody anything that they don't need.
Right.
But they may need it and not want it. And if you don't know how to sell to the want, then they're not going to buy it. You say, well, you need to have this done. I know, but I'm not going to have it done. Right. I've had people tell me that about termites in their house years. I said, these things they're damaging your home. I know. I didn't know how to make them want it. I just throw out the need, and I thought the need was enough.
Right.
But it's not. So you have to create. The want comes from within them, and you have to learn how to tap into that and make them want it. That's what I'm going to be sharing with you in our workshop.
Well, I'm going to apply your principles to my strategies, because a lot of your principles are in the offline world. They're just common sense things that amazingly people never learned. It was never taught in school. But when you hear it, you go, oh my gosh, I was in a meeting yesterday and they said, oh my gosh, all of that makes sense, but I've never heard that before. And you go, well, that's what I'm here for. Is I've heard it. I've heard it from people smarter than me who were successful. Buddy of mine, Armin Morin, says success leaves traces, meaning success people can't hide what they do that makes a difference. And so, but what has changed is when you have a marketing message that has the right response triggers in it, that message used to be delivered on pieces of paper. Then that message was delivered through Morse code. And then that message was delivered through radio. And then it was delivered through film and television and billboards. And then this crazy thing, the internet bundled.
Oh, you forgot about homing pigeons and smoke signals.
Well, smoke signals,
on the Pony Express.
Pony Express.
Those were the early versions.
But, at the end of the day, the internet combined all of those strategies of text marketing, audio marketing, video marketing. The only marketing that hasn't been digitized is smell marketing. Smell this delicious steak. Can't do that.
Are you kidding me? I guess you've never, your wife has never brought home a Cosmopolitan magazine or something, and you start flipping through those things, and you get to a certain page where they're selling a particular fragrance, a cologne, and guess what? It's implanted on the page.
That's your being Mr. Offline. I'm talking about they haven't got digital smell delivery yet.
Oh, digital smell delivery. Yeah, it's a matter of time.
It's a matter of time.
Press to sniff.
Press here to taste. Here, have a sample. Take a taste of this. A great example of a friend of mine years ago talked about a response trigger. He said the food court is the internet. The little girl out there with a plate full of chicken on a toothpick, that is an opt-in box.
Yep.
He would relate real world that we all experience to the online. He said, when you take that piece of chicken off that plate and you taste it, the owner of the business knows that everybody's not going to come over there and buy more food, but a percentage. In fact, the statistics say 2% conversion. So that means he has to give out 100 pieces of free chicken to get 2 people to buy a dinner from him. But 2 new customers was worth 100 little pieces of chicken. So that's what you got to look at, conversion rate. It takes 100 pieces of chicken to convert to 2 sold dinners. And if you look at those visuals, that's what we try to do. We try to make you understand that it's not smoke and mirrors. It's principles and strategies, and strategies are technical. And that's what changes, and that's what we stay on top of. One of the things that COVID did, QR codes have been around 20 years. Now they are becoming so prevalent because COVID said, don't touch the menu, scan it here and look at it on your phone to be safer. So one of the crazy benefits of this wild time we've been through is they took a technology that's been around 20 years and now it's becoming mainstream. People are slow to adapt to new strategies, and that's what we want you to do. Don't be slow to adapt. Remember, it's 1,000 little things that make the difference, and we're going to be giving you an opportunity to see all that for a low price of $97 to attend live the 5th annual Next Level PCO Marketing. Now, before we call an end to this podcast, some of you out there go, I don't know, this is the first time I heard this podcast, and you guys are trying to sell me something. Well, guess what? How? You would give them something absolutely free that's worth thousands of dollars.
I certainly will. You can go to howtogrowapestcontrolbusiness.com and download my latest book. And I have, it's not daily, but it seems like it. People rave over my book. I've had a couple of people say, they've sent me emails and said, Hal, you don't know me, but I just wanted to know that this year I used your book to double my business, just the strategies in your book. So, hey, if you're a self-starter and you don't ever go to workshops and you don't believe in that stuff, but you can, if you're one of those people that can buy a karate book and turn yourself into a black belt, or you can buy a mechanic book and take your engine apart from a book, go for it, because you can take my book and certainly grow your business and do phenomenal things. But if you're a person that needs coaching, if you're a person that needs to go to a karate class to learn how to do it from a karate black belt, or you need to go to mechanic school, you should think about coming to the workshop, because it'll and you know what, Mike, we always tell people, hey, you come to the workshop, you attend the workshop for the whole day, and you don't think it was worth $97? Contact us, send us an email. You know what? You'll get an instant refund of every penny, no questions asked, if you think it wasn't worth it and you're disappointed, not happy with attending the workshop. I don't know how I can give you back your time you spent, but hey, that's a gamble you take, but you really have nothing to lose. And it's a great event. And at the end of the day, you know what we do that I've never seen anybody do before in an online training or workshop? When the class is over, 5 o'clock, we take a break and a 15-minute break before we have happy hour, and you go fix yourself a cocktail or a beer or a glass of iced tea or buttermilk or whatever you like, and come back. We come back again live, and all the attendees are then on the screen where you can look and see each other. You can ask each other questions, and the attendees get into discussions, asking questions, and Mike and I are here answering questions, and it's so much fun, and it was so informative. And some people said that was just, they loved the online happy hour at the end. So, and the Q&A session. So, and we'll hang around as long as anybody wants to hang around. But yeah, just Mike, where do they find the link to sign up?
all you got to do is go to nextlevelpcomarketing.com. There'll be a link below these videos. And of course, if you're listening to the podcast, just go to Next Level PCO for Pest Control Operator Marketing.com, and there'll be a explanation of what you get and all the details. And all you got to do is just enter in your credit card or your PayPal information, and you'll gain instant access to, like I said in the beginning of this show, all of the previous recorded events. Plus, you'll be able to be there all day and attend the live. And if you, for some reason, can't attend it, you're going to have access to the recordings. But
not only this one, but for the last 3 years recorded. Yep. And also, folks, everything that you're going to get in this workshop doesn't just apply to pest control businesses and wildlife control businesses. We have chiropractors, marketing people. We had an airline pilot come to it. We've had people from a lot of different industries, the health industry. So to me, it's PCO, it's pest control operators. But Mike, for your world of online marketing, what does PCO stand for?
Persistent, consistent, outrageous marketing.
There you go. So you know what? If you're listening to this and you're a dog groomer, or you're a plumber, or you've got a dental office, or whatever business you're in, if you're a small business owner, this applies to you. So Absolutely. If you want to learn how to double, triple, or quadruple your business faster than you ever imagined, this information applies to you just as much as it does our pest control operators. I'm most of my clients now are pest control. I'm in my 48th year in the pest control industry. Next week, I'll be attending my 48th annual winter conference at the University of Georgia. And I'm so excited because I'm going to be there, Mike, at the conference center on the University of Georgia campus with hundreds of people watching the national championship football game Monday night between the UGA Bulldogs and Alabama, whatever they call themselves. Uh-huh. And I'm really excited about that. That's going to be Monday night, and I'll be at a pest control conference over there. I'll be speaking Tuesday, but I'm excited about it. So, folks, listen, we hope to see you on February 26th at the Next Level PCO Marketing Workshop. It'll be a day that'll change the way you do business for the rest of your life. It'll change the way you think about marketing and selling. And if you'll just implement a little handful of the things that you're going to learn that day, it will bring you many more customers and much more money and increase your sales. Not only this year, but the next year, because those changes will bring you new business for the rest of your life. So I hope you'll show up. I hope we see you. Mike, why don't you close it out, and we'll end this video.
All right. So have a great conference, and we'll see you on the next Pest Control Marketing Live and Pest Control Marketing Podcast. Hal Coleman has been active in the pest control industry for over 40 years, including owning and operating his own successful pest control business for 18 years. He now devotes his time to helping other PCOs and other WCOs double, triple, and even quadruple their businesses faster than they ever imagined. Be sure to check out his website, pestcontrolmarketer.com. For more information about Hal's coaching program, you can reach him at 770-993-0004 or email him hal@halcoleman.com. Mike Stewart is known as the Internet Audio and Video Guy. Since the birth of the Internet, Mike has been showing small business owners how to get more new customers, increase their sales, and grow their businesses online using audio and video, now with iPhones and Android phones. For more information about Mike's coaching program and his online training courses, visit MikeStewartCoaching.com or email him mike@internetaudioguide.com.
Google Pest Control Marketer. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.